Between the lands of India, Africa, well technically Madagascar, and Australia, there is said to have once existed a lost continent, a vast landmass now submerged beneath the Indian Ocean. A land that ancient Tamil scriptures call Kumari Kandam. You might have seen videos about it, the mysterious, mythical, mesmerizing, lost continent, etc. etc. But how much of it is fact versus fiction? Here is the truth. 50% is fact and 50% is fiction. Yes, there is fact in it, but not the kind that what you are thinking or heard about it. So without any delay, let's get started to know, is Kumari Kandam a lost continent on the south of India under the Indian Ocean? Is it fact or fiction? And if you are a Tamilian, I suggest you watch this video till the end of it. Not for me, but it benefits you. Trust me on this. And for the rest of you, as usual, it's your call whether to watch it or not. So let's get started with Kumari Kandam. Is it fact or fiction? And how much of it is. In the year 1864, British zoologist Philip Sclater published an article titled The Mammals of Madagascar in the Quarterly Journal of Science. He was puzzled by a curious observation. Why did certain mammals in Madagascar, especially the unique species, appear so similar to those found in India and Africa? What you're seeing on screen is the original page from that very journal where Sclater documents his findings. That peculiar species was the lemur, and this observation would go on to spark something much bigger. Now take a look at this map. Between India, Africa and Australia, there is a massive chunk of land that no longer exists. A lost land once believed to connect these three continents. And here on your screen is the exact position from Sclater's journal, where he proposed that this is now vanished landmass must have sunken beneath the Indian Ocean. Why? Because the lemur, that tiny creature we just spoke about, was mysteriously found in all three regions. And to explain that, Sclater coined the name Lemuria, that once there might have existed a landmass that connected all these three continents, hence the presence of this mammal lemur. And he proposed to name that missing continent or sunk or lost continent as Lemuria. Remember, this is the proposition of Philip Sclater back in 1864. Remember the year 1864. In 1864, Sclater proposed about the Lemuria, but in 1912, that is few decades after Sclater, Alfred Wegener introduced continental drift theory, showing that the lands were once connected as part of Gondwana land, and this made the idea of a sunken land unnecessary for the lemurs or its fossils to be found, or explaining the logic of these fossils in India, Australia and Africa. Let me explain that with a small example. Coal beds have been found in Antarctica, but coal forms from dense tropical forests and not icy wastelands. This clearly means that Antarctica was once near the equator, covered in lush vegetation. It later drifted to the South Pole over millions of years, just like Madagascar, India and Africa. They were all once neighbors in the Gondwana land. Here I represented it with a red patch, right? That is the intersection point of India, Africa and Australia some millions of years ago. Well, that explains what's continental drift theory. Eventually it is replaced by plate tectonics, but the concept broadly is still the same. So that's quite clear, since Lemuria is no more the reality or even a scientific proposition anymore, as plate tectonics provide a scientifically verifiable answer to this problem. Lemuria never existed, and calling Lemuria as Kumari Kandam is baseless. It's an open and shut case. After plate tectonics, there is no need for a landmass to connect all these three. So lemurs existed in these three regions independently. That settles there. Now let's move on. Lemuria is dismissed, and so is calling Lemuria as Kumari Kandam is also dismissed. But then we need to understand how, or basically the timeline of how Lemuria became Kumari Kandam. And if you get a hang of this timeline, a lot of things will fall in place. In the year 1856, Tamil separatism was initiated by the British Christian missionary Robert Caldwell. Tamil could be different from Sanskritam, but cutting away complete Tamil Nadu from Sanskritam, and by extension all the Hindu base or the knowledge base that it has, is an attempt done by this Christian missionary Robert Caldwell for obvious reasons, the conversions. I've already explained this in detail on what Robert Caldwell did with exact proofs and his publications in my previous video, so I'll skip all that. But it's quite important to note that Tamilians feeling that Sanskritam is a foreign language or an alien language is a thought induced used by the British Christian missionaries. This is fact and nobody can deny it. Want more? Read about the comparative grammar of Dravidian languages published by Robert Caldwell. And then in the year 1864, Philip Sclater proposed the lost continent of Lemuria connecting south of India, Madagascar and Australia that we just saw. And this theory of Sclater about Lemuria sparked a lot of curiosity and anxiety, not just in the scientific communities, but also in the theosophical or philosophical communities as well. Until Sclater proposed Lemuria in 1864, it was purely a geological or geographical idea in the scientific circles. But later, Madame Blavatsky, a Russian mystic and founder of the Theosophical Society, gave Lemuria a spiritual twist. She described it as some sort of a divine land, home to advanced race and lost wisdom, so on and so forth. Alongside Atlantis, Lemuria became part of her mystical worldview, blending science and esoteric beliefs with the mythical grandeur. And all this in our timeline happened in 1870s. In 1890s, some Tamil scholars began reinterpreting Lemuria as Kumari Kandam, the mythical lost land of the ancient Tamils. Why? Two deep fault lines were at play. First, the British Christian missionaries like Robert Caldwell pushed a divisive narrative that Tamil and Sanskritam were entirely unrelated, alienating Tamil from its Hindu roots. Second, the brutal reality of the caste-based oppression, where Brahmins were seen as outsiders and Tamil-speaking non-Brahmins are as the original inhabitants. So we have problems on both sides. Oppressive Brahmins and invasive missionaries. Both were at play. Well, that's the truth. I don't care about jingoism. I go with facts and truth. And that's what it is. So those two fault lines contributed to the Tamil scholars of the 1890s to spin all sorts of fantasies that Lemuria was the ancient Tamils' original homeland. And it has gone to the extent that they created the idea of Homo Dravida, a new species of humans, a fantasy that the ancient Tamils descended from a distinct pre-human race, not Homo sapiens, but Homo Dravida. I'm not making this up, guys. Search for Homo Dravida online, you'll get it. Anyways, so by 1890s, the Tamils back then laid claim on Lemuria, the discovery of Philip Sclater, and then also conflated it with the ideas of Madame Blavatsky's quote-unquote divineness of Lemuria, and clubbed these two ideas and spun out a completely new fantasy called Kumari Kandam. And by 1930s, the Dravidian movement fuels the Kumari Kandam narrative that Tamil is superior and Sanskritam is foreign, and all that narrative that is still at play in today's politics. And by 1970s, the mainstream Tamil education adopted the myth of Kumari Kandam, and in the classes 6th to 9th class for children back then, Kumari Kandam was taught as a subject, a fact, a reality, a history, part of their curriculum. This is the complete timeline of how Lemuria became Kumari Kandam. But then there is a bold red line that needs to be drawn between 1870s and 1890s. That's why did Tamils even had this very basic thought that their homeland was lost back then? It was not baseless, and here is where this video will take a completely different turn. Here are two important facts. Lemuria as Kumari Kandam is a myth, and it never existed in south of India in the Indian Ocean. That's one fact, and that's proven. But the second fact is, yes, there exists a scientifically proven and lost Tamil civilization and land. This is also a fact what people don't know, especially non-Tamilians are not aware of it. But that's not Kumari Kandam, it's something else. So let's try to understand what is that scientifically proven and lost Tamil civilization. First of all, the basics and semantics. The name Kumari Kandam is a corrupted pronunciation of Kaumarika Kandam. It's a chapter in Skanda Puranam written by Vedavyasa Maharshi. Just open any Skanda Puranam that you have, and in the first book of it, the second chapter's name is Kaumarika Kandam. Why is this chapter named as Kaumarika Kandam by Vyasa Maharshi, and what are the contents of it? Well, it is coming from Skanda Puranam, and another name for Skanda or Murugan or Kartikeya is Kumara, hence Kumarika Kandam. That happens to be an obvious guess, but it is 100% wrong. This chapter talks of many temples of Kartikeya in the region of Tamil Nadu, but the reason why this chapter is called as Kaumarika Kandam is not because of Kartikeya. Vyasa Maharshi explains the geography of ancient Tamil Nadu as part of Skanda Puranam, and here is what he says. Kumari Keti Vikhyata Tasya Namna Prakatyate Idam Kaumarika Kandam Chaturvarga Falapradam. And the translation is, here the goddess is revered as Kumarika, and hence this region is named after her as Kumari Kandam. And she is the bestower of all the four virtues of life, which is Dharma, Ardha, Kama and Moksha. So basically he is explaining the southern tip of Bharat, which is today called as Kanyakumari. And that's because of the veneration of Shakti in the form of Kumari in that region. Hence Kaumarika Kandam. Kaumarika means young girl who is in her preteens. Kandam means region or land. Hence Kaumarika Kandam means the region of the young girl who is none other than Ma Shakti in the form of Ma Kumari in Kanyakumari as of today. So this is the origin of this word Kumari Kandam, which is, like I said, a corrupted pronunciation of Kaumarika Kandam. Why Kanyakumari is so sacred in Sanatana Dharma? To understand Kanyakumari's spiritual importance, let's break it down in simple way. One is geography mirrors divinity. In Sanatana Dharma, Sri Chakra is a sacred diagram representing the union of Shiva and Shakti. The upward pointing triangle is Shiva and the downward pointing triangle is Shakti. Now look at the tip of India, Kanyakumari. Geographically, it forms a natural downward pointing triangle symbolically aligning with Shakti. This makes Kanyakumari a natural seat of divine feminine energy. Second point, Kumari, the first step into the sacred Sri Vidya, a revered spiritual path. The first goddess who was worshipped is Bala Tripura Sundari, also known as Kumari. She is the gateway into the spiritual world. That's how she is venerated. So for these two reasons, Kanyakumari's shape, geographically representing the divine geometry, and Kumari Devi, the entry point into Sri Vidya. Hence Kanyakumari, ancient seat of Shakti worship, revered across centuries. And this is quite evident in the life of Sri Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. That's where he meditated for 3 days and then began his journey as an ambassador of Sanatana Dharma. That was the turning point in his life. But without getting into all those details, to keep it simple, Kumari Kandam is nothing but the Kanyakumari region as per Skanda Puranam. Kumari Kandam is not a myth, it is a reality. The southern tip of Bharat is Kumari Kandam. So does it mean that there was no lost land or continent which was once part of Tamil culture? We can't really rule it out completely because the ancient scriptures like Silappadhikaram, written by a Jain monk, I repeat, a Jain monk, which is like 1800 to 2000 years old. This Tamil epic mentions that there are parts of Tamil Akam, that means the region of Tamil, ruled by Pandya kings, that's now devoured by the sea. That's what this scriptures say. And there are many other Sangam scriptures which talk of the ancient land of Tamil Nadu, which was once ruled by the kings of Pandya dynasty, is now submerged into the sea. In fact, in the 3 Sangam periods, a Sangam basically is a congregation of cultural, spiritual and literary masters back then, which was presided by the Pandyan dynasty. And 2 of these places, or of the 3 Sangams that happened till now, 2 places were submerged into the sea. Tenmadurai and Kapatapuram or Kavatapuram. This is what the ancient Tamil scriptures say about the missing land or the lost land, so to speak. How much of it is true? We will not get into interpretations. Rather, we will completely root ourselves on hard evidence. To understand this better, let's go to Mamallapuram. Mamallapuram, also known as Mahabalipuram, is a coastal heritage town in Tamil Nadu built by the Pallava kings Narasimhavarman I, called as Mammallan, means the great wrestler, in the 7th century. It famed for its magnificent rock-cut temples, monolithic rathas, and the shore temple showcasing the early Dravidian architecture. The site is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and reflects the Pallavas' artistic and maritime legacy, blending craftsmanship, culture, and spirituality, all in the stunning stone art. In the year 1799, J. Goldingham, an astronomer with the British East India Company, published a paper in Asiatic Researches. It is the same paper that you're seeing on the screen. Published in 1799, that is almost 225 years old research paper. In this paper, Goldingham documented local legends of the 7 pagodas at Mahabalipuram. He was among the first Europeans to record the tradition that 6 ancient temples had been swallowed by the sea, leaving only one on the shore which is visible today. His account, blending observation with folklore, sparked enduring interest in the submerged ruins of the Tamil coast and laid early groundwork for later archaeological and marine explorations of Mahabalipuram. So basically, this research paper, for the first time in modern history, theorizes that there were 7 temples as per the local legends, and 1 is on the shore while 6 are swallowed by the sea. That's what Goldingham's research that was documented as part of this paper published in 1799. Remember, by then, even the Aryan Dravidian theory was also not found. It was not created by then. So, whatever that Goldingham documented is very valuable and most importantly authentic and free from any bias. I want to repeat myself again. Max Müller was born in 1823 and around 1850s or so, the Aryan invasion theory was cooked up. But in 1799, back then, the scriptures of Bharat were not corrupted yet. So this research paper is worth its weight in gold for Goldingham documenting it, how things were back then. The Archaeological Survey of India and the National Institute of Oceanography, ASI and NIO, jointly carried out underwater investigations off the coast of Mahabalipuram. The yellow patch that you're seeing, right? That is the region approximately that was investigated on the seabed, what exactly was present. During their dives, they discovered several man-made stone structures lying on underwater up to 700 meters from the shore. They published their findings in a very detailed paper. Let us quickly try to understand what is the essence of their findings. In the investigations, they dived across several locations stretching up to 700 meters from the shore. They discovered fascinating man-made structures lying beneath the sea. Among those were long section of walls, neatly cut rectangular stone blocks, and platforms with steps. Some of the stones showed clear signs of chiseling and were carefully shaped to fit together, indicating skilled construction. A few areas resembled quarries, suggesting that stone might have been cut on site. The layout and the orientation of the features point to an organized settlement or architectural complex. Though much of it is covered with marine growth, the man-made nature of the remains was unmistakable. Based on similarities with onshore structures, these ruins were estimated around 1500 years or even older, likely belonging to the Pallava period. Remember one very important thing, Silappatikaram was written in 1800 years ago, close to 1800 2000, and these structures which were found underwater were just 15 to 1600 years ago. That means the time when Silappatikaram was written, these structures were not submerged. So Silappatikaram is mentioning about something more that is submerged, which we don't know yet. But this, what you're seeing on the screen, is the hard evidence that we have about parts of ancient Tamil culture that is lost to the sea. But then which kingdoms were lost to the sea as part of or mentioned as part of Silappatikaram or the Sangam periods, Then Madurai and Kapatapuram, we don't know them yet. But that does not give a free pass to assume fantasy fringe theories about Kumari Kandam in the south, because geography doesn't support it. In the aftermath of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, something unexpected emerged from the depths near Mahabalipuram. As the waters receded, divers from ASI and NIO, like I said, uncovered long submerged stone structures, walls, platforms, and carved blocks of the Tamil Nadu coast. These discoveries aligned with the ancient legends of 7 pagodas, that 6 of the 7 were lost to the sea and 1 is still standing on the shore of Mahabalipuram today. So where are these 6? Well, a bit of answer is provided with these underwater discoveries. BBC reported this news, calling it as a breakthrough and called them as tsunami gifts that had remained hidden underwater for centuries. These revealed ruins, believed to be from a Pallava period port city, reignited global curiosity about India's forgotten maritime past back then. And here is the rock-cut lion that was uncovered after tsunami, which was being examined by the archaeologists back then. It belonged to Pallava period, which is like 1500 years to 1800 years old, or even older, we don't know, but at least it would be 1500 to 1800 years old. Now here I would like to ask this commonsensical question: if ASI is doing its job reasonably well by uncovering the ancient Tamil heritage, then what's the problem with Keeladi? Use your common sense. I cannot say everything on social media. People are trying to secularize the culture of Tamil Nadu, and that has been the point of friction in Keeladi, because maybe communities of a specific religion or a specific ideology are not comfortable with the ancient culture of Tamil Nadu, which is deeply rooted in Hinduism for obvious obvious reasons. And some half-educated film stars say that Cholas were never Hindus or Tamil is older than Kannada. Why do you need all such kind of fringe theories which will earn disrespect for you when you have great history right in front of your eyes, which is based on facts? Why do you want to go for your fiction in your fantasy world? Let's take a minute to also learn quickly about certain important facts about this temple in Mahabalipuram. Athirana Cave Temple in Mahabalipuram is a rock-cut temple of Shiva. And you see in these black rectangles on both sides, they are written in Sanskritam using Nagari and Grantha script, providing an undisputable evidence that Tamil, which is used for Grantha, or I think I said the opposite. Grantha is used for documenting Tamil. The same script is also used for documenting Sanskritam. Both these languages were equally respected. People are totally brainwashed today. That's a different thing. It's up to them whether they would like to get out of the shit or not. But the facts say otherwise. And not just on the temples, the royal insignia of the ancient Tamil kings also carried Sanskritam. Etad Rajendra Cholasya Parakesari Varmanaha Rajad Rajanya Mukutas Sreni Ratneshu Shasanam. This is what is inscribed on the royal insignia of the Cholas, which is in Sanskritam, and they equally respected both Tamil and Sanskritam. And this was some 1200 years ago. Let's come back closer to our current day. Just barely 125 years ago. Back then, the British confiscated the manuscripts from Tamil Nadu, all the manuscripts basically, and they published reports and registries of what those manuscripts are. And here, this is one of the many years of reports, 1896 to 97. The total number of manuscripts acquired during this year of 1896 to 97 is 309, of which Sanskritam are 187, Tamil are 119. Just look at the numbers. Sanskritam 187, Tamil 119. So in Tamil Nadu, they confiscated more Sanskritam manuscripts than Tamil. And then Telugu 2, Canaries means Kannada 1. Bottom line is, both these languages are equally respected. And if a person says that Tamil is older than Sanskritam or who tries to denigrate Sanskritam, that person clearly has an anti-Hindu agenda. Because who cares about Sanskritam these days, frankly tell me? I mean, it's not used in public discourse, but it is rooted in the spiritual and cultural realms. But still you take time to abuse a language that clearly explains, my dear, your ideological position or your religious worldview. Okay, I know that I'm going a bit tangential, but that's for a good reason and purpose. Hope that's understood. So let's get back to Kumari Kandam. So here are the few important points and the bottom line. Number one, Lemuria never existed. Kumari Kandam is present day Kanyakumari at the southern tip of Bharat. It is true that there are lost and sunken parts of Tamil culture, and it's a fact and it's a historical reality. And then Tamil and Sanskritam were equally respected in Tamil Nadu until 1800s. And lastly, and most important, Tamil culture is a theosophical and theological society. It is rooted in dharma, not just Hindu dharma. Jainism and Buddhism also thrived in this region. It is not an atheistic or a secular society as some are trying to portray. Everyone is welcome to happily coexist. But if one tries to alter the history, which is rooted in facts, then it is a basic duty for anyone who has a little bit of common sense to stand up for what is right. And that's all I'm doing with this short video from my side. And lastly, all those Tamil supremacists who constantly denigrate other languages and bring up all the fringe fantasy theories, I just want to say something to all of you. Pride comes from inside. Respect comes from outside. By spitting out such kind of baseless and derogatory narratives about Tamil, you guys are destroying the real heritage of Tamil. Be proud of Tamil, definitely, but then also do care about respect that need to come from outside. And also to all non-Tamilians, I would like to say one very important thing. All these fringe and half-cooked ideas, not everybody in Tamil Nadu is like that. There are certain politically and religiously motivated or even ideologically motivated people who bring up all these kinds of fringe theories. Practically and factually speaking, Tamil is a great culture for its language, history, heritage, and everything about it. So that's the end of the story and the most accurate explanation about Kumari Kandam that I could afford to present to the best of my abilities. This is not an endorsement, but this is all about my second YouTube channel, Sense AI, where I'll be producing interesting and snackable AI tech content. It's purely about technology and innovation that I've been producing owing to my daily profession in the space of tech. So if you like the content on Sense AI, then do subscribe for interesting and simple tech explainers on AI and related technologies. Leave the description in the pinned comment. And as always, thanks for watching.